could win his first British Grand Prix. He got penalised and had to come in for exceeding the speed limit, putting him out of contention and down to third place. Good on it on any other day, but not today. So frustrated Coulthard. Lacey fighting as ever, second place for the second time this year, as he was at Argentina. And a good mention too for Mark Blundell, who's driven a great race to finish fourth.
And Johnny Herbert is on his last lap. He's been the British kart champion. He's won the Formula Ford Festival in that category. He was the British Formula 3 champion in Eddie Jordan's team. He suffered all sorts of adversities, including those two dreadfully shattered legs in the Formula 3000 race at Brands Hatch. And Barrichello has overdone it, challenging, and has gone out of the race. What happened with Mark Blundell, I don't know, but we're with Mark Blundell. Presumably Barrichello was trying a last gasp effort like Damon Hill did. But here is Johnny Herbert, who in his 71st Grand Prix is virtually certain. He's only got a few yards now between himself and the checkered flag. His first victory in the British Grand Prix. He's behind Olivier Panis in the Ligier Mugen, who is sixth. He's lapped everybody else, and that means to say that Panis will move up into fifth place. Heinz-Harald Frentzen will move up into sixth place. But the glorious winner of the British Grand Prix into the left-hander at Priory, into the left-hander at Brooklands. He now only has Luffield 1, Luffield 2 and Woodcote is going to be Johnny Herbert. And he knows it, he waves his hand. Well done, Johnny Herbert. Thousands of people here are saying that, and for Benetton, Johnny Herbert wins the British Grand Prix, and you can see how popular his victory is. He's a lovely chap, and he richly deserves it. Jean Alesi is now over 12 seconds behind, but again, he finishes in second place, and that is the third time that Alesi's been second in, and Coulthard finishes in third position. So Benetton win, Ferrari second, Williams third, McLaren is going to be fourth when Mark Blundell comes home, Ligier is going to be fifth when Panis comes home, Rubens Barrichello is out of the race, Frentzen will come home in sixth position, but he has been lapped. And Johnny is a pretty phlegmatic chap. When he finished, when Johnny Herbert finished second in the Spanish Grand Prix, he didn't look all that overwhelmed about it. I would expect him to be ecstatic when he is in the interview room to tell us how he won for the first time in a Formula One Grand Prix. And my goodness, what a place to win at Silverstone, his home Grand Prix in Britain. And here is the man from South London. He doesn't live there anymore. He lives in the Midlands near Stratford-on-Avon with Becky, his wife, and his children. And Johnny Herbert is an absolutely and understandably and totally justified elated. And that is Mark Blundell. My goodness! The sensation goes on right to the end. Mark Blundell, I'm guessing that he was hit by Barrichello and somehow punctured that left rear tyre. But Blundell crosses the line to finish not fourth, but to finish behind Olivier Panis, who has come home in the Ligier, having gained a place as Mark Blundell stops with his front wheels stationary. And a bitter pill for him to swallow. Now here's this is what happened, and sure enough, that was it. Barrichello hits him, and that's what punctured Mark Blundell's tyre and forced Barrichello off. Now that's the second British Grand Prix incident on the last lap that Rubens Barrichello has been involved with, because last year it was Hakkinen at the last corner.
Now then, we're having a look at that. That was into the Abbey section there, with Barrichello coming up on the inside, and whether or not Blundell just moved across on him or not, it was hard to say from that. Perhaps we can have another look at an outside view. We might get a better impression, but clearly it was always going to be a very, very hard fight between the two. Johnny Herbert.
Well, there he is. There is little in physical terms. Johnny Herbert, 31 years old, lives in Wootton Warren now. And what a lovely day for a super bloke. He's always got a smile on his face, he's always got a witticism, and Flavio Briatore and Michael Schumacher, that is a very, very nice sight. Michael Schumacher has seen the next best thing to him winning as far as he's concerned, and that's his teammate. Mika Hakkinen and John Alesi will be equally pleased. There's Alesi on the left, and he congratulates Johnny Herbert. And Alesi will know just how it feels. We've got another new Grand Prix winner, and that's what Formula One needs. With no disrespect to Michael Schumacher and Damon Hill, who have brilliantly dominated Formula One for a very, very long time now, and deservedly so. Variety is the spice of life. We got a new winner in Canada, and now here at Silverstone for the British Grand Prix, we have another new winner in Formula One. A superb achievement. Off comes the balaclava. He's talking to Charlie Whiting, who is the FIA's technical delegate, who has to make sure that everything is right. And up to the interview room goes Johnny Herbert with team boss Flavio Briatore. Another victory for Benetton, another victory for Renault.
And that is the difference between winning and losing for a driver. Look at that dejected face there of David Coulthard. He really is full of dismay as to what's happened. Third place on any other day wouldn't have been a bad result, but not today. Today was his opportunity to win a Grand Prix. But still managing a bit of a smile there, but it's a forced one, I'm afraid. And when we look at that rostrum, we're going to see even more of forced smiles, but not from Johnny Herbert there, coming up there finally. And it's just so wonderful to see Johnny, a driver who started in Formula One back in 1989 with the Benetton team, in fact, and then left the team, came back, and very lovely to see David Coulthard being so generous in his praise for Johnny Herbert there. John Alesi again just showing what a good, hard-charging driver he is. Look at that. He is absolutely euphoric, and who can blame him?
Did you hear the crowd? Well done, Johnny. You really, really deserve it. Alesi congratulates him. David Coulthard congratulates him. Camaraderie. The national anthem. Gigantic exhalation of relief from Johnny Herbert. His Royal Highness Prince Michael of Kent, as President of the Royal Automobile Club, presents the magnificent gold trophy. What a trophy. What a trophy to win for your first Grand Prix victory. Kenneth Clark, Chancellor of the Exchequer, motor racing fan, here at Silverstone to see a British victory. That's 10 points for Johnny Herbert, that's 10 points for Benetton. That will increase Benetton's lead in the Constructors' World Championship over Ferrari, with Jean Alesi second on the left yet again. Alesi's, and look at that in the background as Greg Field of Benetton and Tim Wright, who is Johnny Herbert's race engineer, applaud their driver for a superb performance. Jeffrey Rose of the RAC congratulates both of them, and Flavio Briatore. So Benetton are further ahead in the Constructors' Championship. Michael Schumacher and Damon Hill, as a result of that dramatic coming together, are still separated by 11 points in the Drivers' Championship. Jean Alesi gets a bit closer to Damon Hill because Alesi now has 32 points and is only 3 points behind the Englishman. In fact, the new World Championship order is Michael Schumacher, 11 points of Damon Hill. Jean Alesi in third place, only 3 points behind Damon Hill. Up to fourth position goes the British Grand Prix winner, Johnny Herbert, with 22 points. And I've never seen that before. The second and third men lifting in honour the winner. That has to be the most popular Grand Prix winner for a very long time. To the victor the spoils, a gigantic gold cup and a gigantic bottle of champagne. Johnny Herbert wins the British Grand Prix. Jorna Lacey second for Ferrari. A bitterly disappointed David Coulthard, who led, finishes third. In fourth position, Olivier Panis in the Ligier. Fifth, Mark Blundell, who dramatically lost fourth place on that last lap as a result of the coming together with Rubens Barrichello. Up to sixth goes Heitz Harold Frentzen, just out of the points. Yet again, it's happened to him many times. Pierluigi Martini, some recompense for the Minardi team after all the problems they've had in the last two races. Mika Salo, a brilliant eighth place in the Tyrrell, despite having all his Friday qualifying times cancelled due to a red light infringement. Jean-Christophe Bouillon is in ninth position, and in 10th place Luca Badoa in the second Minardi. The rain has held off for most of the race. Thank heavens it did not significantly affect anything that did happen. But Silverstone, the British Grand Prix of 1995, is going to be a race to remember for a lot of reasons, and it's going to be a race that's going to engender an enormous argument about what happened between Michael Schumacher and Damon Hill. As you can see, Benetton are now 9 points ahead of Ferrari, with Williams 3 points behind the Italian team. Ferrari have pulled away a bit in the championship. And that fifth place for Mark Blundell has enabled the McLaren team to get a bit closer to Jordan, who are still in fourth position in the Constructors' World Championship and staying ahead of the mighty McLaren team, which has had some very hard times in 1995. All sorts of personalities to talk about. Damon Hill, of course, Michael Schumacher, of course. You would expect them to be dominating the race, and that's precisely what they did. It's the first time they've taken each other out of contention in quite that way. But remember what happened in Australia, and now